We have, why do you think, no? Why do you think our,
All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
morning?
Morning. I still expect you to open your videos because I want to know all of you, and I hope all of us still in good health, and still eager to follow the summer program. And okay, very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start and welcome to the third day of Active Healthy Kids for the Livelier and Healthier World Summer Program. And first of all, our praise and thanks to God to Almighty for the abundance of grace and joy that all of us can gather in this event in good health. Before we begin to the main session, I will inform you that we have sort of agenda days as follows. First, introduction videos, quiz, ice-breaking, main session, and question and answer. We already have introduction videos from the students who have sent the introduction videos to Google Drive. I have videos from, okay, wait, hold on. I already have a video from Ariana Michael Sim Tuano from Davao Oriental State University, Philippines. Okay. Here we are. Okay, let's take a look.
What is up, people? Nice meeting you all. It feels great to be part of this summer program 2021. I decided to be part of this program because I want to expand my horizons of knowledge in physical education, especially the importance of physical activity to avoid living a sedentary lifestyle. As someone who has been diagnosed with asthma when I was a child, I want to inspire other people to live a healthier and active life by engaging in physical activity. I am someone who is passionate in dancing because I can freely express myself through body movements. I also love playing sports. I am a Taekwondo enthusiast. As a third year Bachelor of Physical Education student of Davao Oriental State University, I want to encourage everyone to live a healthy life. I am Orion Michaelson M. Tuano, 20 years old, all the way from the Philippines.
Okay. Wow. There are so amazing videos from the students that already sent to our Google Drive videos. And also I inform you that we still waiting from you that haven't sent the videos. And we tackle to another agenda. We have quiz for today regarding the material from Stephen Wong, from Prof. Stephen Wong. Okay, I will invite Pak Wildan to send the link to the chat room. And I want to know if you all of you have understand what I mean, and you are ready to follow the quiz. Please raise your hand. Just give me a reaction. Raise your hand or thumbs up. Okay. Still 1, 2, 3. I want to all of you giving me a sign that you are ready to follow the quiz. Okay, right. Yeah, please to click the link and enter the join code. Okay, Pak Wildan has sent the link, and please join and enter the join code that appear in the screen. All right, Pak Wildan. Oh, we are still waiting for participants to join. Okay. I will. Yeah. Okay, the code is 88747. Okay. It's just 5 questions, Pak Wildan?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. Okay. There is not hasn't participant. Come on. If you have difficult to join to this quiz, don't hesitate to chat or speak up. Pak Wildan, how many participants that already joined? It's not yet. Okay. Come on, everyone, to join the quiz immediately. Is there any problem, Pak Wildan? Okay, we already joined. All right. Nabila said that already joined. All right. Okay. 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 How many students, Pak Wildan? Oh, 25. All right. We're still waiting for you. Okay, around 30 seconds left. Okay. Let's join, come on. Okay. We have a participant here, around 35 participants. So as we still waiting you to join with us. Okay. Let's do some quiz. All right. Come on. Who hasn't joined? Okay, maybe someone. Okay. Let's begin, Pak Wildan. Okay, start. Okay. Please show the question, Pak Wildan. Okay, good. Can you show the question for a while? Okay. Okay, regarding the yesterday topics, right? Okay. Yeah. Maybe you can show the participant again, leaderboard. All right. Okay, Kenneth Louis, first rank, and everyone is still eager to answer the quiz. Right. Maybe you can answer as fast as you can. Okay. Ima Padilla. You are still lead the competition. Okay, everyone still struggling to win the race. All right. Yay. Okay, Carlos. Carlos now lead the competition. Okay. Okay. We still waiting you that hasn't joined, and of course you have a chance for the competition game. Wow, someone has lived to higher rank. Oh, that's right. Mm. Okay, don't give up. Come on. Okay. Okay. Okay, maybe for participant done. Okay, the leader is Yana Ignacio.
Enough, Vanessa?
Enough, right? Okay, and we'll see the starting position. Okay, the first one, Aina Ignacio, Ariane, and what the third place? John. All right. Congratulations. And for all who not in 1, 2, and 3 position. Yeah, don't give up. We will have a quiz for tomorrow, and let's shift to another agenda. Thank you, Pak Wildan. All right. We do the ice breaking. Okay. Okay. The ice breaking still the same with yesterday, but I will add some rules. Okay, first, all participants should send message via chat room to one of the participant in the participant list privately in 1 minute. In the chat, please introduce for yourself. Yeah. And after that, we'll have a wheel containing the name of the participant, and the wheel will select around 3 participants one by one, and select participants should introduce themselves and to whom they send the message. And now I will add the rule. That is, you have to send it with different university from you. All right. Okay. If you already to follow the activity, please raise your hand or give me thumbs up. Okay. Okay. All right. Somebody has already ready to follow the session. All right. Please send the message to another participant in participant list privately, and remember that you have to send a message to participants that have different university. Okay, please, let's start. Okay, and Pak Wildan will spin the roulette, and we will choose someone who have fortune to introduce themselves and please state where your university from and to whom you send a message. All right, we still waiting you to send the message to the private message. Okay. Okay, we'll spin the roulette. Okay. We count down. Yeah, we count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, please stop the spin. Okay, we have. Okay, Acela or Arias, please open your video and open your mic. Are you here, Acela? Okay, he or she, I don't know. Maybe we can, Dr. Ginas. Okay, let's try to another. Let's try again. Okay, remove and please roll again. Okay, Shen and Ariola. Are you here? Shen and Ariola. Maybe hasn't joined with us. Okay, remove. Okay, I will try to point someone who have been joined here. Okay. Okay, I will choose La Suerta Kutin. Okay, La Suerta Kutin. Can you hear me? All right. Okay, please introduce yourself and to whom you send a message. Hello.
So hello everyone, I'm Sir Takiti from the University of the Immaculate Conception, Philippines. I am a second college student taking a Bachelor of Physical Education. So I sent a message to Christine Medina. Medico pala. Medico.
Christine. To whom? La Suerta?
Christine Medico.
Christine Medico. All right. Thank you. Christine Medico, can you open your video and mic?
Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Hello.
Hi, my name is Christine Medico from Philippine National University, Manila. Incoming fourth year college, taking bachelor's degree in physical and health education. And chatted Wally Espino.
Wally Espino. Okay, thank you. Wally Espino, please open your video and introduce yourself and please state who you're giving chat. Okay, maybe, yep.
Message received.
Wally Espino. Okay. I'll start our video. Are you ready, Wally? Okay. I hope that all of the participants want to know all of you. Okay. Yeah. Maybe if you have some connection problem, maybe you will to state without the video. You can still speak. Do you have a problem? All right. The Wally Espino has been chat that he have a bad connection. All right. We try once again to roll it. Maybe somebody has fortune to introduce themselves. Pak Wildan. Okay. Okay, Niall Hendrick. Niall, are you here? Niall. Oh no, he not here. Maybe. Okay, once again, maybe. Maren Testo Domingo. All right, you are here. Maren, can you open your video?
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I'm sorry I can't turn on my camera because I'm having a problem with it.
Okay.
But hello everyone. Good morning. My name is Maranti Santo Domingo, a second year student. from the University of the Immaculate Conception, and I sent a message to Kurt Gabriel Roldan.
All right. Thank you. Who your send the message?
Kurt Gabriel.
Kirk Gabriel. All right. Thank you, Maren. Kurt Gabriel. All right. Can you turn on your camera and please state your introduce? You can introduce yourself and is the last. Yeah. Okay, Kurt Gabriel. Hello.
Hi everyone again.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your
Yes.
second point.
Right.
Right.
I've been called twice.
Okay.
So nice meeting you again, and I hope you are doing well. I am Kurt from Philippine Normal University, and my hobby is dancing, and I am excited to learn a lot from you again. And I sent a message for Sheila May Balatuan.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
Kurt.
you.
All right. You are the last participant for the ice breaking today. We'll take a look to another participant tomorrow. But I really appreciate your active participation today, and I hope so that you will turn off your video during the class, and I hope you can active participately in this session. Okay, thank you for the gorgeous participation today. And now we will have another agenda. We'll do main session. All right. Okay. In this session, we have Professor Selina Ko again. We meet you again. Prof. Selina, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Bu. All right. And Prof. Selina will present a topic today is association of physical activity and health, and will be guided by Bu Anira MPD. She's one of the PETE of Elementary School Study Program. And without any further ado, I will invite to Bu Anira to guide the session.
Okay, thank you so much, Bu Mesa. Hello again, everyone. I hope you're not boring with me. So I would like to welcome to the main session of the summer program, the day 3. And in this session, we'll have 60 minutes for presentation and 30 minutes for question and answer session. And today, again, we have speaker from Associate Professor Selina Ho from University of Malaya, Malaysia, and she will deliver a topic about the association between physical activity and health. As you know before, we already met Professor Selina Ho at the first day of our programs, and Selina Ho is the Associate Professor from Sports Center, University of Malaya. And her last publication is about sport and exercise psychology research from the Asian and South Pacific region, bibliometric analysis. And ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please welcome Associate Professor Selina Ko.
Thank you, Bu. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, so let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, so we're going to talk about association between physical activity and health. A little recap about what we did on Monday. Do you remember anything from Monday's class? You can put in the chat box. This is just to wake you up in case you're still very sleepy. Because I know in Indonesia it's like 8:30 in the morning. Okay, so do you remember anything or nothing at all from Monday's class? Okay, Yeah, would anybody like to write anything? Okay, yeah, Marin said we talked about doing sedentary behavior. So it's all the time that you spend sitting on the computer, watching TV. Not many people do that now. Watching your YouTube and TikTok, all those things. Yeah, so we do a lot of sedentary behavior. Yeah, so you know the definition of what is physical activity and sedentary behavior, and some definitions including MET, MPA, VPA, so moderate intensity physical activity, vigorous intensity physical activity. Okay, very good. So you do remember the main things that we covered in class. Just a question, just wondering, okay, so after Monday's class telling you that how important it is to do physical activity and to reduce your sedentary behavior, how much physical activity did you do on Monday and Tuesday? Do you do more physical activity or the same or less? Would anybody like to share what they did? Or are you so shy to tell whether you've done physical activity for Monday and Tuesday? You did a lot more. That's very good. I'm glad to hear you did a lot more. Yeah, yesterday I did 1 hour of yoga as well, so I did quite well too. Okay, anybody else? Okay. You walked outside with some of your friends? Well, it's good that you can actually go outside. Yeah, the COVID situation isn't so great in Malaysia. So I really try not to go out. I do everything indoors. But it's good if you can go out and get some fresh air and see some green. Okay, and also on Monday, somebody asked about physical activity and ADHD. So I found this article that examined physical activity, screen time. You remember what is screen time, right? So all the time you spend in front of your screen, so your computer, your tablet, TV, your phones, right? So how much time you spend on those things, and sleep in children with ADHD. So they found that about a third of children with ADHD participated in daily physical activity, and half of them participated in sports in the previous year of the study. They also found that older children with ADHD were less likely to get daily physical activity or get enough sleep or limit their screen time to less than 2 hours per day. So older children do less physical activity. Okay, so this is in response to the question that was asked on Monday. So what are we going to do today? So today we are going to talk about health. We are going to look at the health status and some statistics globally for some health status like obesity, cancer, cardiovascular disease, as well as suicide rates. We're also going to look at some benefits of physical activity. We're going to highlight physical health as well as mental health. And because we know not so many people actually do enough physical activity, we look also at barriers and facilitators to physical activity. Okay, let's start with a Slido, okay? So in general, I want to ask you, what would you say your health is? Is it excellent or very good or fair or poor? Okay, do you want to scan that first? Oh, thanks Wu for putting that in the chat box. Okay, just let me open my... Okay, let me try if I can do this. If I can just see if I can do new share. Does it work if I do new share? Oh, does it work, new share? Can you see my slider? I hope you can.
Yes.
Can
Yes,
you?
we can see the slider.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so your results. Let's see your results. Oh, yeah, maybe this is a bit difficult to see. Nobody says it's excellent. Most of you, well, more than half of you right now say it's good. Yeah. Nearly half say it's very good. It's also good that nobody says poor. Let's wait for a few more people to answer. Boo, how many people are in class today, Boo?
We have around 40 students.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so nearly half have answered already. Okay. So I'm glad to know that you think your health is very good or good. Nobody says it's poor. And a few of you say it's fair. Okay. So the next question is, do you think health is important? Yeah? Okay. Is this happening? Okay. So I think most of you agree that health is important. So why do you think it's important? So everybody says it's very important, right? So why do you think it's important? For all the people who say it's important, you want to live, so you can live longer. So that's important for you to live longer. Yes, because it will affect your everyday life, right? Your quality of life. Oh, so cute. Somebody said health is wealth. Yeah, my mother says that a lot actually. Does your mother tell you that as well? Health is wealth. Yeah, so my mother always tell us to look after our health. Yeah, because if you have good health, then you can do things. So you can study, you can work, those kind of things, right? Yeah, your life depends on your health. So your quality of life. Yeah, so you can become healthy and don't get so much disease. You can do whatever you want. Yeah. Somebody said you only have one body, so you have to take care of your own body, right? Yep. Yeah, so you can enjoy life if you actually have good health, right? So you can do whatever you want. You can eat whatever you want. Well, okay, try to not eat so much unhealthy food, but yeah, you can eat whatever you want, do whatever you want. You can travel, you can do all kinds of things, right? Yeah. So you can be healthier, you can be happier, you can have better quality of life. Yeah, so so well-being is also connected to health. Yes, very good. Okay, so these are all the things why you think health is important. So my next question to you is, you think health is important, right? But what do you think health is? How would you define health? Anybody? Because you think it's important, you know why it's important. So what do you think it is? Oh, okay, good. So you said being free from illness. So it's your physical and mental condition or state. Okay, so those are good definitions of health. Yeah, a lot of people say it's free from illness and injury and disease. So it's your well-being. Yeah, it's a foundation of life. Yeah. Yeah. So it's good that you have all these definitions because I'm going to show you a definition. So you have well-being a lot as well. Because the definition, oh, hold on, yeah. The definition by, oh, okay, hold on. I don't know why this is not really working right now. Hold on, let me share this again.
It's okay, Professor.
Can you see the full screen or is it still very small?
It's yeah, now it's a full screen.
Okay. So according to the World Health Organization, WHO, in 1948, I know none of you were born yet. I wasn't born then either. So they said that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So it's most of the things you talked about just now, right? You talked about well-being, you talked about not having disease and those kind of things. But for them, for the WHO, it's not only no disease, right? It is also about your complete physical, mental, and social well-being. After this, there are actually other people who gave other definitions of health, but because the WHO one is very widely used, so that's why I'm just showing this one to you. And there are also various types of health, and you mentioned some of them just now as well. So we have physical health. So we define physical health as the state of a person's physical body and how well it is operating. Mental health, we define it as a person's emotional, social, and psychological well-being. These are the two main types of health that people talk about when they talk about physical activity or health in general. But there are other types of health as well, and this includes social health, emotional health, spiritual health, environmental health, financial health as well. But the definitions of the types of health, it really depends because different people have different lists. So some say there are 3 types or 7 types or 10 types. So this is just some examples of the ones that, of the types of health that people talk about, okay? I'm going to show you some statistics now. And let's start with this one about overweight populations in Southeast Asia. Because we have Malaysia, Indonesia, and Laos with students in this class, right? So I just want to show this to you. Have you seen this graph before, this figure before? Have you seen this? Yeah?
No, actually.
No?
I didn't see it
Okay.
either.
Yeah. So this one is data from 2011, the World Health Organization data, and it compares overweight populations in Southeast Asia. So you can see that Malaysia is actually the fattest country in Southeast Asia with 44.2% of the population overweight. So that's not good, right? Nearly half. So that's not a statistic that we are proud of. Philippines is 26.5%, and Indonesia is thinner than Malaysia and Philippines at 21%. So this is comparing only Southeast Asia. I'm going to share with you other statistics now and other data from around the world. So this one is prevalence of overweight in adults around the world, okay? So this is a graph. Well, this is the map from the World Health Organization, but I'm going to show this one to you because that one is static. So I'm going to show this one to you. Okay. Now you can see the World Health Organization one. This is the map. So we can put our cursor on different countries and we can see what the rate is. Is there any country that you like to look at? You can put in the chat box and I'll try to read if you want to look at any country. So Malaysia is 42.5%. Indonesia is 28. Because it's the latest data, so it's increased a bit from the one I showed you just now. And the Philippines is 27.2. Okay, any other country that anybody wants to look at? You want to look at Korea? Okay, so Korea actually is quite high as well, 30.3. Anybody else has a country they would like to look at? Okay, like to look at Thailand, 32.6. Oh, New Zealand. Somebody's interested in New Zealand. It's very high, see? It's surprising. Hold on. I don't know why you can't really see it properly. Okay, 65.6. Are you surprised? I'm very surprised. Okay, Malaysia is 32. Oh, sorry. Yo, Malaysia is 42.5. Switzerland. Okay, this is a real test for my geography. Let me see how I can get to Switzerland. Ayo. This is not really happening. Ayo. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's
Switzerland
really
is such a
small.
small country. It's really hard to pinpoint on this. Nobody wants to know all these other countries. Ayo. Okay. Ayo, not happening lah. Sorry, so not happening Switzerland, huh? Okay, slightly bigger now. Okay, Switzerland, come on, Switzerland. Ayo. Oh dear, it really shows how bad my
Not show
job.
up.
Okay. Finally, I managed to get Switzerland. Okay, 54.3. Is that really high? Yeah. So a lot of countries actually have high overweight population. So you can see that around the world, it's not only in Asia. So you looked also at New Zealand, in Switzerland, it is pretty high. Yeah. Are you quite surprised and shocked at this? Are you surprised? Or you think it's okay?
Yeah, me surprised.
Surprised, right? Yeah.
Right.
It's quite high. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you now, since I'm on this map. Okay, I'm going to show you other data. I'm going to show you data from death, number of deaths attributed to non-communicable diseases. Is that the screen that you see? Or are you still seeing the overweight one?
No, we see the one that you showed us.
Okay. You can see the non-communicable disease, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you know what non-communicable diseases are, right? So it's not infectious. So they have a few data from few different types of non-communicable diseases. I want to show you first about cancer. So neoplasm is cancer. So you can see the rate here. Okay. Okay, another test for my geography. You can say which country you want to look at, but we start with our own countries first, okay? Okay, let's try to make the map slightly bigger. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so Malaysia, it's 28.3% of deaths from cancer. Indonesia, it's, oh, sorry, this is not percentage. Oh, this is number of deaths, sorry. Okay, so this is not percentage, this is number of deaths. Okay, so in 2019, 28,346 deaths in Malaysia were because of cancer. The population of Malaysia is about 33 million. So in Indonesia, because the population is much higher, the
Yeah, we have
number-
200 million, I think.
Oh, okay, 200 million. Oh, okay. So deaths from cancer is 223,628 last year. I know you want Philippines. So Philippines is 69,011 deaths from cancer in 2019. Is there any other country anybody is interested in? You still want Korea? 88,000 deaths from cancer in Korea. The US, 617,000 deaths from cancer in 2019. China has a lot because the population is such a big population, right? So it's 2 million, slightly over 2.5 million. Yeah. Okay, so enough of that, right? Okay, so that's cancer. Oh, India, sorry, I just saw India. Nearly 1 million deaths from cancer in India. So it's 920,000. Yeah. So quite a lot, right, for cancer. If we look at something else, now we are looking at cardiovascular disease, so or your heart disease, right? So we will start with our own countries first. Okay, so this is number of deaths, okay? Malaysia is 63,000, 63,500. Indonesia is 696,000. Philippines is less, 240, nearly 250,000 deaths from cardiovascular disease for both men and women. Okay. Is there any other country that anybody is interested to find out about? Anybody?
How about UK?
You want the UK? Oh, sorry, that's Ireland. Okay, 145,000. Wait, why am I still in Ireland? I'm pointing at the UK, but it's still, oh, sorry. Sorry. Okay, so they only have data from,
Yeah, this one.
yeah, so it's 145,000. Yeah, because earlier I just saw the Northern Ireland. Yeah, so the UK, which includes Great Britain and on Northern Ireland, 145,000. Yeah. Any other country anybody's interested to know about? Sorry, did somebody say something? Did somebody want to say something? No? Okay, so you can find out about this. What you can do is, I can give you the link to this website. You can filter here, so you can look at different years. You can look either at the country or the WHO regions or World Bank income group. So we looked at some income group on Monday, middle income, low income, high income countries. And these are the causes. So I showed you neoplasm, I showed you cancer and cardiovascular disease. So if you want, you can also look at diabetes and respiratory disease. So that's how you navigate this, okay? Okay, so we've looked at physical health. Now I want to show you something that's related to mental health. So I want to show you about suicide rates. Okay, so let's look at suicide rates. Hold on. Yeah, this one's a bit slow. Okay, so in Malaysia, the rate is 5.77%. Indonesia, it's less at 2.55. Philippines, about the same as Indonesia, 2.54. That's the rate of suicide for both men and women. So here you can look at rates. If you want to look at different countries, you can. Do you want to look at any particular country? So this is according to the region, okay? Sorry, so the rate is for 100,000 in the population. So how many suicides per 100,000 in the population, okay? So you notice that if you look at regions, we see that suicide rates in Europe is the highest at 13 per 100,000 population. The lowest is Eastern Mediterranean. Okay, so if you want to look at your own countries, you can navigate here. Unfortunately, the WHO regions are not the regions that we are used to, because for us, Southeast Asia is Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Singapore, Brunei, Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos. I might have missed out one country, but the WHO regions is slightly different. So Indonesia is actually considered as Western Pacific. Okay. So so it's, sorry, okay. So under Western Pacific, you can see Singapore, Vietnam, Malaysia, Laos, Cambodia, Brunei, Philippines. I don't know. Okay, let me, Indonesia is in another list. Okay, so you can compare between males and females here. Blue, males, red is females. So if you look at, let's say, Philippines, the rate of suicide is higher among males compared to females. It's also the same everywhere else. You can see everywhere that suicide rates among males is actually higher than females. Okay, let me try to get you Indonesia. Yeah. So Indonesia, Thailand is in Southeast Asia. That's what, and Myanmar as well. So that's why it's a bit confusing, the WHO regions. In Indonesia, also males have higher rates of suicide compared to females. So you can see that is what happens around the world. So if you want to see more details in terms of age and things like that, you can actually look here. Okay, so you can do that in your own time. Okay, I've shown all these slides. Okay, so on Monday, we talked about physical activity. Today, we looked at health. So you can see that the state of health around the world, highlighting especially what happens in our own countries, right? So there's this publication, quite recent. So they talk about more than 1.4 billion adults do not do enough physical activity. Physical inactivity is responsible for more than 5 million deaths and at least $67.5 billion of economic burden per year. So that's a lot, right? So economic burden is in terms of healthcare costs. So if you don't do enough physical activity, then you are not well. So all the healthcare costs, go and visit the doctor, those kind of things. So they've added all this up. They've also added in terms of productivity, because if you're sick, then you can't go to work. Or if you die early, then your productive years are less. So they've added all that, and $67.5 billion is the economic burden of physical inactivity. So what happened was the World Health Organization, WHO, came up with guidelines on physical activity and sedentary behavior, and I shared with you their guidelines on Monday. But how did they come up with these guidelines? So they came up with these guidelines based on reviews that they did on studies that have been published. So that's what they did. If there were no reviews, they actually conducted new reviews to look at evidence for physical activity. So they'll rate as how important it is to do physical activity for different types of health variables, okay? So in terms of physical activity and health in children and adolescents, there is evidence that increased physical activity improves cardiovascular fitness and musculoskeletal fitness. Regular physical activity, largely aerobic in children and adolescents, is positively associated with beneficial cardiometabolic health outcomes, including improved blood pressure, lipid profile, glucose control, and insulin resistance. And if you compare higher levels of activity compared with lower levels, higher levels of physical activity may be associated with healthy weight. So we are also talking about overweight and obesity. And I think most people know this, right? That physical activity can actually help in reducing weight. Physical activity is positively associated with bone mass accrual and or bone structure. Important for growing children, right? Physical activity has positive effects on cognitive function and academic outcomes. So they not only looked at physical health, but also in terms of cognitive function, so you're thinking, right? And academic, because for children and adolescents, they're in school. So academic performance, academic outcomes are very important. Because in Malaysia, I think a lot of Asian countries, right, that parents place so much emphasis on academic performance. So if you tell parents that, oh, physical activity can help your children to do better in school, that might be one way to encourage parents to let their children do more physical activity. Oh, sorry. Okay, so physical activity, so in terms of mental health, right? So physical activity also reduces the risk of experiencing depression and depressive symptoms. And mental health is very important now, especially during COVID. Because of the lockdown, a lot of people are experiencing mental health issues. So if physical activity is something that can help, I think we should really encourage that. So that's in terms of physical activity and health in children and adolescents. So let's look at the evidence for physical activity and health in adults. So physical activity in adults is associated with lower risk of mortality or from dying, okay? There's an inverse relationship between physical activity and cardiovascular disease mortality. So dying from cardiovascular disease. So inverse relationship means that the more physical activity that you do, the less chance of you dying from cardiovascular disease. So that's what inverse means, okay? When one goes up, one goes down. Physical activity is also associated with reducing cardiovascular disease and hypertension incidence. So physical activity is not only associated with dying from cardiovascular disease, but it's also reduce your risk of getting cardiovascular disease or hypertension. There's also an inverse association between cardiovascular disease and developing type 2 diabetes. So if you do more physical activity, your chances of getting type 2 diabetes is less. There's also associations between higher levels of physical activity and reduced risk of colon and breast cancer. So a lot of research has been done on colon and breast cancer. So the more physical activity that you do, you reduce your risk of getting colon cancer and breast cancer. Also, physical activity improves sleep and health-related quality of life. And some of you mentioned quality of life earlier as well. In terms of mental health as well, physical activity was associated with reduced symptoms of anxiety and reduced symptoms of depression. So that is physical activity and health in terms of adults. So what about older adults? So for older adults, they find that the benefits for adults can also be extrapolated to older adults. But additional to all those benefits, health benefits for adults that also can be seen in older adults, extra for older adults is physical activity, in particular, multi-component physical activity that include balance, strength, endurance, gait, physical function training, is associated with reduced rates of falls and risk of injury from falls. And this is important because you're always very worried when old people fall down because their bones might break and they take a long time to heal and recover. So we really want to try to reduce falls in older adults. So that's why having physical activity that combines balance, strength, those kind of things are very important for older adults, okay? So physical activity also improves physical function and reduces the risk of age-related loss of physical function. The reason why this is important is because as you grow older, right, you still want to be independent. You want to be able to do things for yourself, your activities of daily living. You want to be able to eat, shower, go out, those kind of things, right, that you usually do. You still want to be able to do it when you are older. You want to be independent and not really dependent on, let's say, your children or your grandchildren. So that's why we need to make older adults actually do physical activity. Also, physical activity may improve bone health and prevent osteoporosis. So that is in older adults. So the other group is physical activity and health in pregnant and postpartum women. So postpartum is after you give birth, right? I think a lot of women are worried whether they can or should do physical activity when they're actually pregnant. So research have found that physical activity before and during pregnancy can actually help reduce the risk of complications during pregnancy. Also, physical activity is not associated with increased risk of miscarriage, stillbirth, or delivery complications. Because I think people are really worried about this. So research have found that it's actually not related to any of these things. So it's actually safe for women who are pregnant and after giving birth to actually exercise. But for this group, they have to be careful. They really need to consult their doctor before they do any physical activity, and yeah, they have to do it safely. Okay, physical activity during pregnancy may be inversely associated with postpartum depression. You might know that some women after they give birth, they experience some kind of depression. Some do, and some postpartum depression can be quite serious as well. So research have found that women who exercise during pregnancy, their incidence of getting postpartum depression is actually less. So that's actually a good thing. Okay, and now because we are in COVID, right, I just wanted to share this with you. We find that this study that was recently published, they find that for people who consistently meet the physical activity guidelines, so you know the guidelines for adults is 150, at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity physical activity a week, or at least 75 minutes of vigorous intensity physical activity a week, or a combination of both, right? So if you meet the physical activity guidelines, you have reduced risk of severe COVID outcomes. So this study was conducted in the US, and they looked at people who had COVID. So they asked how much physical activity they did. So they find that for people who actually meet the physical activity guidelines, their risk of getting severe or very serious COVID is actually less. Oh, okay. I'm just looking at the chat now. Okay, so let's stop here and see if you have any questions at this point.
Okay, thank you, Selinako, for the presentation. And I would like to invite the students.
Oh, I
maybe
have
if you...
I have something after this, but I'm just stopping a while because you said
Oh,
no,
no,
I have.
I just remind the students
Oh,
for
okay,
if they have any question, they can just type it in the chat room. If you
Okay.
already,
Thanks,
if
Boo.
you want to continue the presentation,
Can, unless anybody has any questions. Okay, so now we have looked at physical activity and why it's important, right, in terms of all your health outcomes. But we also know that so many people still don't do enough physical activity. I know most of you do meet the physical activity guidelines, but a lot of people don't. So you've seen some of the numbers that I've shared. So what do you think are the barriers to participation in physical activity? So what do you think stops people from what do you think stops people from doing physical activity? Maybe you can answer. Okay, I'll just leave this on for a while before I share my next screen. So we know it's important, but a lot of people around the world still don't do enough physical activity to get health benefits. So what do you think are the barriers to this? What's stopping people? So you can talk from your own experience, or you can talk from the experience of other people around you who don't do enough physical activity. So when we talk about barriers, obviously for different groups of people, the barriers are different. I'm going to share the results with you. And some of you have written interesting answers. Okay, so first we talk about barriers, okay? So a few of you think it's lack of motivation. You think people are lazy, unmotivated. Yeah, so motivation, a lot of you think it's motivation. So you're really busy, you don't have time. So time is another factor. So you don't have willpower. You're just so busy, you have a lot of tasks to do, you can't manage your time well. Yeah, so you don't have enough intrinsic motivation. So you don't have space. Yeah. Financial capacity. Okay, let me talk about that for a bit. So if you, some people would think, it's very expensive to join a gym and those kind of things, or equipment is expensive. So that could be one barrier, right? So some of you spend so much time on your studies that you really don't have time to do anything else. Yeah, some people think you need equipment, you need expensive things, but actually you don't. You don't, right? You can go walking, that brisk walking. So that can be your physical activity. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need to go to a gym. Right now, during COVID, there are actually a lot of YouTube videos on exercise and physical activity that you can just turn on, you can follow for free in your own house. Yeah, but somebody also mentioned space. So if you don't have space, then that could be a challenge as well. Yeah, some people don't prioritize, physical activity. They think study is more important, or working people think, work is more important, making money is more important. So in terms of priorities as well, right? Yeah, so you don't have resources. Some people fear injury, of getting injured if they don't really know how to do it properly. Lack of resources. So the resources could be in terms of money, resources could be in terms of equipment, those kind of things. Yeah. Yep. So these are some of the reasons why people don't do enough physical activity. So motivation is actually really, really important, right? So my next question to you is, so those are the things that you say are barriers to people, but what do you think actually helps people to do more physical activity? So when we talk about barriers, we also talk about facilitators, right? So what actually can help? Okay. So a lot of you think reward is very important. If you get a reward, then you'll do it. That's a very extrinsic motivation, right? Because just now you talk about motivation. So now you want a reward. When I conducted interviews with some women who were not active, they said that, yeah, if, at the workplace, if they reward people who do physical activity, then they will be more motivated to do it. So some people like to have reward. Okay, so intrinsic motivation, yeah. So some people participate because of their own intrinsic motivation, because for their own health, those kind of things. Some are influenced by others. So if your family or your friends are active, then maybe you'll be influenced to be active as well. If you have social support, like women women are very social, right? So they like doing things in a group. So for women, if you have a group of other women to join you and remind you, oh, we have class today, or let's go jogging today. So that's important. Yeah, you need a environment that is actually conducive and safe. I've conducted interviews with about physical activity for different groups, and some say it might not be so safe to go outside because they are scared of snatch thefts, and if they want to go jogging in the evening and the park is very dark, they don't feel very safe. So the environment is also very important when you want to encourage people to be physically active. The weather, so all these things that you talk about, it could either be a facilitator or it also can be a barrier depending on how you look at it, right? So in terms of the weather, I just want to talk about that for a bit. Weather, so if the weather is nice, then you want to go out. But if it's very hot, then you think, it's very hot, I don't want to go. If it's raining, then you think, raining, maybe another day, right? So you can find all kinds of excuses, right? Whether you want to do physical activity or not. Facilitator also is knowledge. So now you know that it is important, right? So then you have that knowledge and you know it's important to do it, so you will do it. So what are your goals? So your goals might be to be healthy, for example, or you want to look good, or you want to be stronger, you want to be able to run faster, run longer distance, you want to what was I gonna say? So you want to be able to look good in your clothes, you want to lose weight. So it depends what your goals are, right? Yep, so motivation is very important. Yeah, somebody said that if you have proper guide. So if let's say I want to pick up a new physical activity or sport, so if there's nobody to teach me, like a long time ago, I wanted to do rollerblading many years ago. I know it's not popular now. So maybe like 20 years ago. But I couldn't find anybody to teach me. So you really need to have, if you have proper guide, that's important. And space, you need a place. I just want to highlight a bit about barriers and facilitators for different groups of people. So all the things that you talk about obviously is really important. But if we look at certain groups, for example, like women, there might be other barriers that they face or other things that might help them to do more physical activity, right? For married women who have children, because they are the main caregiver, I think I'm going to assume it's the same in Indonesia and the Philippines. Usually it's the women who have to cook and clean and look after the children, so they really don't have a lot of time to do physical activity. Bu Anira is nodding her head. You agree with me, Bu Anira?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so those kind of things. So in terms of time, and for persons with disabilities, that's another research area that I do. So for persons with disabilities, they have a lot more barriers because a lot of facilities are not accessible. So for persons with disabilities, let's say physical disability, it's difficult for them to go to gyms or to go to parks because it's not accessible, right? Some also find transport a problem because it's not only having facilities which are accessible and they can get to, but how do they get there? Because a lot of public transport, some public transport in Malaysia is not accessible. So for wheelchairs, it's difficult to go onto bus, difficult to go on the train. And sometimes taxis, some long time ago, now it's not so bad. They don't want to take people on wheelchairs. So there are different barriers for different groups of people that we really need to consider. Yep. So I don't want it to be so depressing. But that's how I'm going to end this. Okay, so we've looked at different things today. We've looked at health. We've looked at physical activity and health. We have looked at what can encourage people to do more physical activity and what are the things, some of the barriers that stops them. So for you, for today's class, what is your take-home message? You can type it in the chat and I can read it out. So what's your take-home message? Oh, there's no take-home message, is it, from today's class?
I think there's a way still writing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, there's lag and sometimes my Wi-Fi isn't so great either. Is anybody typing?
Now we have an answer.
Yeah. Thank you, people who have who are typing. Okay, so yeah. So physical activity is a powerful thing, especially how it improves our mood. Okay, very good take-home message. Okay, so physical activity is crucial to attaining a healthy life. Yes, you should not stop doing physical activity even though you get old. So please tell your grandparents this. But yeah, the thing is, if they want to start doing physical activity, please consult a doctor first. Yeah. Please don't make them go jogging outside. So whatever you do is how much you can do. So it's a very individual thing, right? So start slow, start small, then you can actually increase. Okay, there are certain reasons why people don't engage. Yeah, and we have to overcome these barriers. So try to encourage people to do it. But the thing is, some of the barriers is not personal barriers, right? It could be about the environment. So you can't really do anything about that. But things that you can do is just yourself. So if you feel lazy, then you can do something about it, right? But if the facility is not accessible, you really can't do anything about it. So you try to motivate yourself first, Ken? Okay. Yeah, so if there are barriers, yeah, let's try to see how you can overcome these barriers, because physical activity is important. There are various benefits to physical activity. It can enhance your health, lower your chance of getting some diseases, right? It's good for your well-being. Yeah, physical activity is a lifelong investment. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, stay safe and be healthy. Uh, yeah. Yeah, so somebody is going to have a schedule to when to actually exercise. Yeah. Yep. So physical activity is important. You can maintain a healthy life and you can enjoy your life, right? And have fun. Also, it's a very social thing if you do it with your friends. So that's important. Okay. So, okay. So thank you for writing. Yeah. So you talk about physical activity and how it overcomes diseases. So you can do all kinds of physical activity. Yeah, all kinds of different physical activity, all the benefits. And you will try to do more physical activity, even though you face barriers, and you try to encourage more people to do physical activity. Okay, so that's your take-home message. These are the references that I used. And thank you very much. So do you have any questions? Yeah. So physical activity is just not for your physical appearance, but it's also for your, so you don't get certain diseases, or if you get certain diseases, it's not so severe. Yep. So do you have any questions, people? I'll stop sharing. Do you have any questions?
Okay, let me ask first
Sure.
for the presentation. I will ask the student, and thank you again, Professor Selina, for a really good presentation. And for our student here, we have a question and answer session for about 25 minutes. And if you have any question, you can simply raise hand, or maybe you can write your question in the chat room, and then I will be read it for you. And first, we'll invite maybe some student want to deliver the question directly to professor. Okay, actually we have one question in the chat room. I think maybe they are too shy to ask directly to you. Okay, we have Paulo. Paulo, you want to ask the question directly to Professor Serena?
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
Good morning. I just want to ask, is the BMI really a accurate predictor of health status for people? Because I remember before our professor said that it isn't so accurate because it's the data that was used for the BMI is only came from white people. So I want to know your take on if the BMI is really an accurate tool for assessing one's health status.
Yeah, thanks for your question. I don't think BMI is a very good predictor. It's something you can do very fast, the BMI, right? Because it's just depending on your height and weight. But it's not that accurate because if you are, okay, how do I say this? Because people who are heavy, because they have a lot of muscle, their BMI would be high, but it doesn't mean that they are not healthy. So that's why BMI is not the best predictor. So some people now look at different ways of predicting kind of health outcomes, right? So now they measure waist hip ratio or even waist height ratio, and they find that those are better predictors compared to BMI. Yeah, but I think now they actually have BMI for Asian population as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Paulo.
Okay, I will invite more questions from students here, or maybe from our lecture. If you have any question, just please raise your hand and you can type your question in the chat room. I think they already understand all of it, Professor. Okay, I will invite one more. If you have any question about the topic that Professor Soliniko delivered today, please just raise your hand and maybe you can type your question in the chat room, or no, maybe we can just enough for the presentation today. And I would like to say thank you so much, Professor. I think the participant is already understand about what are you saying today. I hope so. Actually, and we will have a quiz for tomorrow about this topic, so we'll see their understanding, and I hope they already get a better understanding about the physical activity and the association with health benefits. So thank you so much again, Professor Solinako, and ladies and gentlemen, now we have come to the end of the session, and we're back to the master of ceremony. Thank you so much, Professor.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bu Anira, and also Prof. Selinako that have been giving presentation and material obviously. And dear all participants, the attendance link has been shared in the chat room. Don't forget to fill in the attendance form. And before we leave the meeting, we'll have a photo session. So please turn on your camera.
So you have photo at every session, is it?
Yeah, in the end of session.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Pak Agus Mahendra have question for you. Do you have active health tickets in Malaysia?
Yes.
Yes, all right.
Oh, okay. I should just say yeah. Okay, yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not involved in that study. It's by another group of people.
Mm. Okay. Okay. Already everyone are ready to photo session. Okay, I will count down 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'll be turn to next page. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much for all of you, and we learned a lot from your material today, Professor, and we are having you to hear and join to this summer program. I hope all of the participants also have many benefits from your topics. And the last, this is the end of the third day of the summer program. On behalf of the committee, I would like to extend our gratitude for your participation and involvement in this meeting. See you again tomorrow. Stay safe and healthy. Thank you so much. Still eager for tomorrow. Thank you, Professor Linako, for the interactive session with you. Okay, and all of the participation that have kindly have participation today. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you tomorrow and have a nice day.
Thank you, everybody. Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Professor.
Bye.
Thank you,
Terima
Bu
kasih.
Salina.
Okay. Thank you so much, all of the participation, and I permit to leave the meetings. Bye-bye, see you tomorrow.
See you. Okay, for the participants, please don't forget to fill your attendance link.